Okay, today my guests are Erica and Dave Ellerson. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hi, how are
Hello,
you?
how are you?
I'm doing well. So now, Dave is a retired Navy officer who is a police officer now in Camden, and Erica is a nurse. So tell me how this has affected you guys. How this whole, I'm sure it's affected a lot. So how's it actually affected you guys?
But you can start off.
Well, I'm a unit secretary at Virtua. I'm studying to be a nurse now, so I still have to work. So job hasn't changed much. A lot of changes in the job. Staying home is kind of frustrating to me because I'm normally out and about a lot. So that has been hard on me to just sit and try and be in my home. Studying still for the nursing, so that changed. Everything went from in class to online, so that was a big change. But I didn't mind the online. It's just straight in the middle was a little bit of a change for it.
How much interaction do you guys have to do online?
Everything. So everything is lectures, tests, communication, submitting assignments. That's all, everything is online. So we can't even go into the campus. It's all closed.
Okay. And,
Me?
it's your turn now.
My turn, huh?
Yeah.
So I still work every day almost. Our schedules has been fluctuating so much. We started when this whole outbreak started. I was working 5 days a week, 24 or 12-hour shifts. They kind of slacked down a little bit, and now we're working 1 day a week, but overtime included. We're responsible for all the COVID sites in Camden County. We do all the security at the COVID sites. There's 4 different sites. At the hospitals, at Cooper Hospital, we're doing security there also. My job has changed dramatically since the outbreak has occurred or the pandemic happened. I had an easy job. I was working pretty much at a office type of atmosphere, working Monday through Friday, pretty much 8:30 to 4:30. And then if I wanted to pick up overtime to go patrol, I could. Now it's not. Now I am actually patrolling the streets of Camden, 12-hour shifts. And it's opened my eyes up a lot to see how people in Camden don't really care. And it's part of the reason why is because of the fact they have nowhere to go. They're homeless, and they just are hooked on drugs, and they just don't care. And it's sad, but for the most part, in Camden, in the surrounding areas, people have been abiding by what the protocol should be.
So what happens when you see somebody not following, the homeless? What do you have to do then?
So it has gotten to the point now where Camden Police Department, along with the Sheriff's Department, actually created pretty much a law stating that if you don't listen to what has been directed of you to do, you can be fined and with a possibility of going to jail. Now, is that ever going to happen? It's not going to happen because they pretty much just closed the jails down and no one's going to jail and no one's coming out of jail. So the people know that it's just a fluke. So they just pretty much do what they want to do anyways. And that goes along with the drug dealers too.
Okay. So if I want to have a good time, I go to Camden. No.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, so I'm going to go kind of into a little bit of a deep dive. I don't have much, but what I have is I feel I'm a kind of funny guy a little bit sometimes. So let's talk about a comedy fundraiser that no, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Tell us about your experience with this comedy fundraiser. How did you come up with the idea? And then let's hear the story of the execution of it.
So that we had been doing comedy fundraisers for years for cheerleading for my daughter. That's how we like made our extra money to go for the long-term trips. And I specifically had talked to this guy. He knows probably like 9 years I've been dealing with this guy, and I had specifically made sure to tell him that this has to be a clean, a very, you know, people need to understand that this is a clean comedy show. This isn't, you know, like a typical comedy show. Make sure I'm going to have people from church there. And they're like, oh yeah, we do Catholic church events all the time. And we have people coming in and these are the 3 guys that I always send. And I'm like, okay, so these are the guys. And unfortunately I didn't listen to their skits and their material beforehand. And it was a little bit of a bust. So it started off okay. And then by the end was horrible. I was practically in tears.
So are you not going to be doing that again? Is that?
Oh, never. No. No. I was on the phone with the guy that night. Trust me, asking them to leave.
Aw. Yeah, I think you just got the wrong comedians. I think I would have done a great job.
Oh, you would have been great. I wish I would have known that you were such a funny guy back then. You would have been on the stage.
That's not true, and my kids would disagree with you.
Yeah. Our kids never agree with you. Come on.
Well, yeah, they try. So, well, you know, I think maybe a comedy night you could actually have Vince up there, or Pastor Vince and Pastor Greg. And,
yes.
they're funny guys.
And maybe get Dan with the little
Chester.
yes, his Chester.
Yeah, that creepy little puppet. Yeah. All he does is make fun of me now.
Yeah. Well, then you could go up there and improvise with them.
Yeah. So we're going to go into Would You Rather, which is my trusty Eagles hat here and has Would You Rather questions in it. So here we go. First question is for Erica. Let's see. What do you got? Would you rather live somewhere where it's 100 degrees year-round or somewhere where it's 32 degrees year-round?
100 degrees. There's no thought about that. Absolutely. I don't like being cold. Dave wants to retire in New York, and that's not happening.
Where, like upstate New York?
Yeah, I got family that lives in upstate New York, and they're farmers and stuff, and I like going hunting and fishing, and it's more peaceful, that kind of realm, and I like the cold. Heat, no. I've been in overseas in the desert. I'm good. I don't need no more heat.
That's true. Yeah, wow, yeah. Okay, well, now it's your question, Dave. Let's see. Oh, this one's actually funny for you. A, would you rather get tased, or B, have your entire body waxed?
See,
you've experienced both.
I've done both.
Hey, we got good stories here now.
Let's see. Tasing only lasts for a couple of seconds. The pain of being waxed lasts for several hours afterwards. So I'll go with option A, Bill. Final answer.
Final answer. You're picking taste. Okay, so now we gotta change up. How come you were tased?
So part of my training going through the police academy, you have to be tased. There's a new requirement that they came with, which they don't do anymore, by the way. But I definitely would get tased over being sprayed or maced, 100%. So yeah, it's tasing's not that bad.
No.
See
them all convulsing and on the videos. It looks all fun.
I was tased twice. The first time I did, it was an experience. It was like, whoa, what just happened? Second time, my adrenaline was rushing, and I'm kind of like an adrenaline junkie. I was looking for it, and I was like really excited about it. And then when it finally came in the second time, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. You know, that's the sickness in my mind.
Okay, so then you've had your body waxed. What?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so let's on purpose or
What, this wasn't, this was option A or B. It wasn't going into.
no. We're going into
This
detail.
is a deep dive.
This is way more exciting than
So yeah, I did it a couple times because of the fact when I was in wrestling back in the day, back in high school, my old young times, I would do it then. And then I'm a hairy guy. I don't like hair. So to this day, I don't wax, but I do shave. Obviously, you can tell.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the reason why.
I once waxed just this part because I didn't like the little like tuft of hair.
Yeah.
And I didn't read the instructions. I went under the bathroom. I found it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to wax this. So I put it on. And for 5 minutes, I sat there and I did this and
Yeah.
really got it off. And then I pulled it off. And that's when the blood hit the mirror.
Oh.
And I screamed. Apparently, I was just supposed to like put it on and just pull it right off like seconds.
Oh.
So for like, I had to wear like a Band-Aid under my shirt for like a month because it was just like that raw skin. It was so
Oh.
so, and that's the last time I've ever done that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
That was a good question for me.
oh yeah, it really was, and we actually got something out of it. Usually it's just like the answer, I would rather eat my nail clippings, and you're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that was yeah.
So-
But that was a good response from somebody that said that, because our hands have been clean. I'm not putting names out there, but I know who it was.
Great. So let's go with how did you guys meet?
high school.
I'll let her answer that one.
High school?
High school. Yes.
So what high school did you guys go to?
Overbrook.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
It was in French class.
Nice.
I did not like French. I sat in the front. She was a teacher's pet and would come into the class, and she introduced herself that way. That's how I was sleeping, and she woke me up.
Okay, that's funny. So, can you guys still speak French?
Je ne sais pas.
No.
I took 1 year of French, but it's because I got there late and Spanish was already full.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good one for you, Bill. Je ne sais pas.
Yeah,
You can never go wrong with that one.
I
You
don't
just
know.
you just answer. It means I don't know.
Oh,
There you go.
perfect. So, kind of changing gears. What is something that we can pray for you guys for?
Ugh, a lot. So I'll start out. Obviously, I have just a heart for the homeless and caring for people of the world. That's just one thing for like a broad prayer. Just not being able to get out there to help people. It's kind of like, it doesn't put me in a funk, but it's like I was talking to Dave about it. And that's just something that it really concerns me, is all these people that are getting sick and not being able to help them. Especially like some members of our church, and not being able to just drive over and be like, hey, what's going on? Me for nursing school. I have about 2 years left. So just to get through that, and my migraines, they've been getting better, but just continue to pray. And also for both of our daughters.
For me, it's always obviously the safety on the streets. I got to appreciate George Klein on his statement on what he stated towards all first responders, frontline personnel. Right now, this pandemic is, you got to thank them because and pray for them also because of the fact they are on the front lines. So just pray for my safety along with all frontline personnel, nursing, fire, police, security. It doesn't really matter. Anybody that's involved with this, just pray for everybody's prayer. The church as whole, that we pray for everybody's safety, and that Pastor Vince and Pastor Greg, with their sermons and stuff like that, they're right on point. Even when we're not together, they're still on point, and it somehow can go towards you're going through at that point in time frame. So the blessings of the church, and for you, Bill. And this program that you're doing is such a fabulous thing. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Well, then I was just gonna go to we talk about the church, and so the flag that's hanging in the church. So tell us the background of how you got that.
Back in 2005, 2006, I was deployed over to Kuwait with different operations, going to different countries over there. And I requested that a flag be flown over Kuwait area, and they did that. I did it for a couple people. Erica's one of them, my kids, and I thought the church would be a good one to do. You know, when Pastor Vince said that, that was really nice, the gesture and stuff like that, because I actually totally forgot, and I thought people forgot too. So when he actually mentioned that, it was really nice because, you know, it's just a flag. Like, you don't really think about it. It's just a flag with somebody that said something like memorabilia. But that during that time frame, I was going through a lot of stuff, and it brought memories back, and at the same time, it was all good things. So I got flown when I was over during Operation Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, back in 05-06 in Kuwait, in Iraq.
That's really cool. Yeah, he kind of, you know, I hadn't talked to him about it, but I had that in my notes. And I was like, he's jumping, stealing my thunder. Like, all good, all good. And then, well, who, I know you brought up Pastor Vince, Pastor Greg. Who are some people of faith that do inspire you guys?
There's honestly so many people. It's as far as in this world. Obviously, the Lord is always number one, and Paul, as far as book of the Bible, you know, people of the Bible. He is someone that is strong in faith that inspires me. And Dave's mom, I will definitely say, see, here's our Romeo. But Dave's mom, she was the first person there that, you know, didn't give up on me and prayed for me for salvation and to strengthen me in the Lord. And then there's just an endless number of people at the church that I can name that are just inspiring to me, that I think about and pray for different times and different days. And I couldn't name just one. We have so many people of faith that in our church that are amazing with just bringing and walking in the Word of God and just living the life that we're called to live. So I just couldn't name one more than that, except obviously Dave's mom. She was first and foremost in my walk with faith. So
for me, it would be definitely my mom. My mom had a lot to do with my upbringing, obviously. And I wasn't the most easiest kid growing up to be a son for, and, you know, or whatever. Definitely my mom would be my primary number one. And she's going to be surprised when she hears this, by the way. Trust me. And then if it wasn't my mom, I would believe it or not, back when I was a teenager, the Whitemans, they played a big impact in my daughter's life and my family life when I was gone, while I was deployed and stuff like that. So the Whitemans are another one. And lastly, I'll have to say the body as whole in the church. We wouldn't be able to have church, granted, because of Pastor Vince, Pastor Greg, and everybody, but we really wouldn't be able to have a church if people didn't come to the church or listen into the service and so on and so forth. So you got to thank the whole church as a whole.
Okay, that's great. So then what would you guys like to say to the church family as we wrap up on here?
I know, I miss everybody. I can't wait until I can get hugs again and just be able to come up and especially sit in the ladies' Sunday school and just see our greeters, and then just come through and be able to walk back up through the service whenever everything's starting, and then stay the extra 25-30 minutes after church. So I just miss all that and just miss seeing everybody.
Yeah, I definitely got to say the same thing. I'm looking forward to going back to church to see everybody. Hopefully once this is all cleared up, we can maybe have a cornhole tournament, a barbecue outside of there, you know, and just have a good old time, just enjoying each other's fellowship together. with some good food and some good fun and just hanging out and just being able to catch up with everybody again, you know?
I think that's a cool idea. I like that. That's
And
right.
definitely a clean comedy maybe night.
Yeah, well, you know,
You
can't
can
do
run
it.
that for us, Bill.
So, nope. So, well, thanks, guys. I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks, and thanks again for doing this.
You're welcome. See you guys later.